How to do this. I thought I had it. I'm trying to figure out how to do this newsletter news/new magazine because we're moving to once a month, and we agreed. Family agreed. We had a meeting yesterday. We agreed we're gonna move it to once a month, but what I'm trying to figure out is because it goes down on our private group. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get some of those posts up out of there and make sure that the people that posted it up get get the fact that they did it. You understand what I'm saying? Because they posted it up, they put up the thoughts, and they're hosting the conversation. Because a lot of the conversations, if you are just on the Gye-Nyame page, that's good. But the best part comes in the discussions and the stuff in our private group. It's like we got the page, and then we have the group, right? And that's 90 strong. So over 91 people strong, and people are posting up some good stuff, man. CeeLo just posted up this picture of this. Oh my God! I mean, it's like chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. I thought I was dark, but I was like, God damn, I looked at her like, God, oh Lord have mercy. Let me pick my hair so we go get this thing started. I've been up here at this computer. I'm trying to finish up my little article for the next newsletter. Because I'm putting this last one out. Because one, Sister Jackie shit is going to be on this. And I want to post it up here first. Send it out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, that Jackie gave me the birthday gift, and it is a beautiful article, man, and it's coming on that Gye-Nyame piece, and I'm gonna try to get her to write something for me on a regular basis. But of course, we got to get, because she's a professional writer, and I respect the craft and I respect the skills. So, like I said, even with everybody, I'm trying to find a way to make. Hey, close that door. Close that door. That goddamn washer, I hate that. I hate that washer. God damn it, I hate that washer. Man, alright. So, those that got ambrosia orders, the ambrosia will be ready. I just got, I got to do that. I got to do this newsletter. I got to fold clothes. I got to go buy a new iron because I had iron so much that I burnt the motherfucker out because we are iron and family here. Gye-Nyame journey, we got to be crispy. You know what I'm saying? The clothes could be old, the clothes could be fading, but they got to be iron. You understand what I'm saying? They got to go through the fire, to the limits, to the wall. I can't live without an iron, so I have to give it all. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so now, let me go to the chat. I want y'all to know this is going to be Gina Belafonte, great. Thank you. How you doing, Miss Gina? Miss Gina Belafonte? Huh? Yeah. It's been some years. Brother is old, and I'm enjoying it. All right, family. So, now we're gonna start off. Real talk. My dad lived to. Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. Get up and. Because really. Well, a lot of people don't understand, like, some of these basic chores that a lot of people be running from, once you really get into the habit of doing them, it is some real thinking time. It's some real, when you ironing, and it's just like your body and that, as they call it, that monkey part of your mind that's constantly jumping from idea to idea. It's got something to focus on, so you can actually take that time to, oh yeah, boom. And as the wrinkles come out, some of the ideas and some of the problems that you got going on in your life, you start coming up with resolutions or things or ways to deal with them. He really loved it. He did a lot of thinking, like a meditation. Same thing with washing dishes. Shouts out to Miss Navita Nelson. I see you out there. I hope my nephew is better. How you doing? This call is being recorded. Oh, somebody already called in. It's about to go down today. It's the Toast and Talk. What's going on? Who is this?
This is Sister Navita. I'm just tuning in. And I don't know what topic you're talking about, but there's something I wanted to discuss, but go ahead. If you were in the middle of something, please don't let me be interruptive.
You're not interrupted. I missed you yesterday at the meeting because we decided that we're going to do the newsletter one time a month rather than Brother Hatim trying to force it out four times a month. So we're going to start with the one time a month. And everybody's going to have to contribute something to it.
Okay.
But also because I started off talking about how hard it is to figure out this designer piece, right? Because I want to, because I'm able to upload our page, but the group, I can't get into there and upload all it, because it'd be going down in the group. A lot of people is posting stuff in the group and not on the page. And I understand why, because in the page, we are able to have those private, those conversations, those strong conversations. So anybody that want to get into the mind of some of the people on Gye-Nyame and just get off the front page, off the page, come to the group. You know what I'm saying? Join the group, because that's where the discussion is really going down. All right.
Okay, wait a minute. So there's two separate ones? I'm confused now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. This is for the old people out there. That's old people, right? I didn't know this. There's a difference between the page. Our page, we have over 500 people on our page that are members of our page. So when we post something on that page, it's open to all 500 of those people. It's liable to pop up on a timeline. But inside of our page, we have a group, and the group is a private group. So you are part of the page, and you're part of the group. Now the group is the one that whenever you see CeeLo posting in, CeeLo rarely posts on the page. She posts on the group. And there's a difference. And you can even look at, because on the group, it got the Gye-Nyame, I got a Gye-Nyame shield up on there, and there's a picture of the garden. Okay. But the page got the phoenix and stuff on there. There's a big difference.
Okay, so the page, and this is the group. Okay.
There's the difference between the page and the group.
I never noticed that. I thought somebody was trying to copycat you, for real.
No, we got the group, because the group is where, because everybody don't want to have, they don't just run their mouth like me. You know what I'm saying? They like, boom, I got a life, and we post this shit in private group. You know what I'm saying? Because the only, the private, is a safety net. You know what I'm saying? But they post up some good stuff, like I said, CeeLo posted up a picture of this dark-skinned girl. Ooh, right. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I have to do some training this summer so that I could get that black. Oh, God.
Me too.
Oh, God. You know what I'm saying? Miss Gina Belafonte
said... don't leave us out, damn it.
I ain't leaving you out. Miss Gina Belafonte said there might be a student graphic designer you can give an internship to. That's a good idea. But, I got all these students, so one of them is going to learn how to master this. You're going to master. We got plenty of young people that we have to get up to do it. But first, I want to get it up to speed. And then the people we need will come. But, yeah. So, Navita, what you want to talk about? Because I ain't did the toast
I want to talk about, we got, I missed yesterday. My grandson been sick, so... what I want to talk about is the Gye-Nyame, the G&J Community Mall. And how we make that work. And we make that work by you others and ourselves putting in the work together. And one thing that I'd like to get across is, if you say, I'm going to vend this event, then make your word your bond, unless you are sick or there's some unfortunate incident that happens. But do not Because do not say that I'm going to be there and I'm going to attend this event and then you don't show without any cancellation, no warning, no anything. Because sometimes we save that spot for you can be the only vendor that sells that product.
That's
and
true.
Then when you don't show up and people are looking for that product,
we look bad.
It makes us look bad.
And the Vita is
so
all about
let's not do that shit.
Go ahead and tell them, girl. Miss Navita is about maintaining that image. You understand? So, but now, give me some. So let them know, because a lot of people might not know about this G&J mall you talking about. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
The G&J Community Mall is a mall for the community. And a lot of people in the community like to talk about, once I go through my Facebook wall and I see the conversations regarding supporting black businesses. And everybody, from what I can see on my timeline, at least 99.9% of you say you want to support black business. You want to see economic empowerment within the community. Well, we have provided a space at Gye-Nyame Journey for you to do just that. So you can put your money where your mouth is and come out and buy black. And I'm not just talking about your shea butter. I'm talking about your soap. I'm talking about your toothpaste, your body care products, your lotion, your clothes. And I'm not just talking about your food. You know what I'm saying? And last time I realized that happened, that I got a lot of feedback on as well, is that people were able to come and even just converse with one another.
Wasn't that beautiful? And
Christine's African Cultural Workshop area became a gathering place, and people were buying food and shopping, and then they would come sit, eat, and talk with each other, you know.
Word.
Like a village.
Like a village.
You know what I'm saying? So
we
need people to support.
Hold on. It wasn't like a village. It was a village. We set it up for a day. And it was a beautiful event. And if you missed it, you will have another chance to get in where you fit in on March 30th. From 12 to 6
And I'll put another flyer out tonight.
Oh, we're going to have the flyer out, and we're going to be advertising it. So if you get the flyer done, I will hold off on the newsletter, on sending out this newsletter, until you get that flyer done, because I want to put that on.
Yeah, I'll get the flyer done today, because all I got to do really is adjust and make a few changes and put the dates in. And you know, I don't know if anybody's listening that would like to vend, that would like to attend. You know, shoot an inbox to Gye-Nyame Journey Media or to Hot Tim, because he handles the vendor piece for the most part. You know, shoot him something, and it's only $20 to vend. So even if you sell $30, you know, you break even with the gas and everything. So. And I'm sure you could sell more than $30 worth of product.
It was going down this week. It was going down at the last one. And the whole piece is, family, we believe that the market is the heart of the community. The market is the heart of the community. The economic exchange, the information exchange that goes on is the blood of the community. And it flows through the heart, and the heart pumps it throughout the body, which is the tribe and the community. So family, come out and participate in your own resurrection. You understand what I'm saying? Come on out. We had a good time. We had a movie. We had a nice discussion after the movie. But you know what? The only thing that was missing was you. That was it. So also this weekend we had our meeting. And I didn't think I was going to cover the whole 4 hours, but we had a discussion about the newsletter, about the mall, and taking positions and stuff like that, and accountability, and we also even discussed the Malcolm X Festival. So we're going to have to set up a meeting so that we could get together, because we're going to get together on every other weekend with the young people to help get them organized and get them more involved and hands-on in running the market and stuff, showing them the business, how to keep track of it, how to advertise it, how to do all this stuff, how to maintain the security, and take the market from the market, move to the Malcolm X celebration. So we also talked about the Malcolm X celebration.
We got to start advertising at least sometime for the
month?
Fundraising part.
Oh yeah,
we got to start fundraising like yesterday, so I could try to put a flyer out by tomorrow if to get the fundraising started. And we just need to talk off the air because about the committee for the Malcolm X. Because we got Brother Renee. I'd like to see him come back on board with us.
Oh, he already said he's coming. Some of the same
people from last year.
Hold on.
Okay.
He already. I spoke to him, and Brother Renee. We gonna really talk because Brother Renee came with some real shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about let's get it done. So we are in a whole nother position right now far as the Malcolm X Festival. So we're going to be
okay, well, we'll definitely, you tell me after this show, if you get time sometime today, fill me in on what I may have missed yesterday.
All right, cool.
I should have had y'all call me in on the darn meeting. I wasn't thinking about that.
I wasn't thinking about it either, but now, one of the ideas was to bring, rather than bring somebody national in, we should bring people that are big locally. Bring several of them in for a fair price. I ain't gonna say a fair price, for a better price that we can afford, and then have the bomb ass live Columbus entertainment. Because you already know who I'm talking about with that. Because we've been talking about that since last year. Right.
I think, like we focused last year a lot on the entertainment piece, and that was our bigger piece, and then we had the speakers filled in within, and we know why we do it like that.
Right.
And I think that's very, very effective to do it like that.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
And
so that's how we did it last year.
Exactly. My issue is, but this year, because I want to expose the community to some real ass jazz music. So because I'm like, I'm on it. That one right there, because like Eddie Baird, somebody brought up.
And I told you Eddie already plays with them. He told me.
I know, but listen to me. It's somebody else. It's other people out there. I'm just saying, because I'm on the liquid crystal piece. We own that, right? But I'm just hyped about getting Eddie Baird. I'm just telling you right now, I'm hyped about getting Eddie Baird, but then there's the I'm trying to think of the drummer brother's name. It's two drum. Oh my God! I went to go see Eddie Baird and Perez one night, and Jay Gators was on the drums, and that shit was. Listen, I'm just saying.
We're going to discuss. We will discuss.
We got to discuss, because I'm telling you.
Planning committee. We will discuss.
Listen, it was.
But I just hope people want to, because we had a nice ass. I mean, I had people call me, tell me how nice it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had people call me wanting to come back and vend. People who were there wanted to come back,
right,
and vend. But we may have to change some of the vendor rules for the few people that didn't show up that said they would have. Now, I will say there was a sister that didn't show up, but she did inbox me the day of the event and told me she wasn't going to be able to make it.
Right, I had one call, too, that told me that called because of health issues, that she couldn't make it. And another one came. Actually, she came, but she wasn't able to set up. And but, all that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But now, on our part, we got to make sure that we return the space exactly like it was. That's it. Just, because
Okay.
When I tell you what the issue was, you're going to laugh. Because
I was in the movie side. We cleaned up the movie side real good.
Oh, it wasn't the movie side. It wasn't. Listen. It was so small that I was. Listen, we got to talk. This shit is funny.
Okay.
Because nobody knew what was being talked about. But then when I found out what was talked about, I was like, man, I'm about to lose my job.
You know what?
No, really. Listen, I crewed up. I was hot. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, man, no. Let me go find out what's going on here, right? So I go and find out what it was. And it was it was just ridiculous, man. And I was like, dude, all right, cool. But we'll have those conversations later on. But I didn't even get a chance to do the water song yet. And we toasting and talking. So I'm going to go and get this water out the way so that we could go and get the toast. And after the toast, we will resume with some more conversation unless you got something else pressing on your heart, Sister Navita.
No, I don't. I'm going to hang up and listen right now. I may call back in later.
All right, family, I had to refresh the chat because it looked like it had froze, so I lost a chat. I want to send shouts out to Miss Gina Belafonte. Thank you for checking us out. But now we are about to do what we do. Family, I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media, where your hustle builds muscle. All right, Anime, you was kind of late. This is a Heart of a Simple production, and this is the Daily Toast. And you know we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Here we go. Come on. Loosen up, get it together. I know some of y'all old out there. Come on. Drink your water. Come on. Drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Pull it from the belly. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should I say, breathe, then drink. Now check this out, family. You ready? Grab your glass for some water. Get a bottle of that water. Twist the cap off that water. Lift and pour your water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now, next step. Now move your body and drink some water. Stretch it out, fam. Move your body, drink some water. Oh. Move your body, drink some water. What? Just move your body. Come on. Drink. Or should we say, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. What? Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass. Drink. Raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But to stay healthy, family, remember all you gotta do is breathe, drink, eat, move. Take your breath. Lift We conquered 50 ounces again. Damn. I got just a little bit left. When y'all allow me to count that as a victory, no. If you think I count that as a victory, throw up some thumbs. Because it's just, does that count? Damn. We almost did it, family. I'm feeling so good now. We need to do the toast, and then we could talk, family. We could talk the reparations issue, family. We could talk any news that you want. We could talk anime. We could talk sport. Well, I don't know too much about sports, but somebody else in Gye-Nyame could call in and they can handle the discussion about sports, what I can't handle, right? Now, we could talk politics, we could talk economics, family, we could talk spirituality, we could talk the ancestors. Those of you that want to put your ancestors on the toast list, by all means, all of you are welcome. All you have to do is join the Black Signal. And what is that? The Black Signal is where I send out texts about things that I hear about that are going on in our community, locally here in Columbus, as well as nationally. It also let you know when we're having major shows or major events so that you can tune in directly. It's also the list that we are building so that we can, it's basically to let you know about the events, but also to let you add your ancestors to the list. So now, you text G and J to 25456. I think it's 25456. Let's look on here. Let me make sure I'm giving y'all the right number. I want to make sure I'm giving y'all the tip-top, most accurate information that I can. But I'm pretty much sure that the number is 25456. Real easy to remember. 25456. Text G and J to 25456 so we can put you on our Black Signal list. Now, this does not let you know every time I do a show, because I do a show early in the morning. Now, this toaster right here, this is the laid back late day toast on a lazy Imani, right? Usually we up about 5:15, 5:30, Umoja through Nia toasting, right? And I know some of y'all don't want to get no text that early, so I have a special list for the daily toasters. But for everybody else that just want to know when the G&J Mall is going down, when the Malcolm X Festival is going down, when you want to know how can you help support Gye-Nyame Journey, you want to know when the meetings are, whether we are having them here or we starting chapters in other places. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, for example, what's going on with Simba. If Simba is having something and I need to post it up, or something going on with one of our sister or family organizations, boom, we could text it out. It also gives us access, give people access to ways to support some of the stuff that we're doing. Because you might not be able to participate because you might be in another place, but you like what we're doing and you might want to support it. So, hell, we can send out links to help you with that. You know what I'm saying? Hell, some of y'all about to get some of this reparation money. I hope that y'all planning to do some wise shit with it. And one of them is support Gye-Nyame Journey, right? See? I'm not playing. So we gonna pour these we gonna do this toast, and we gonna get into this discussion. Now I'm gonna share some articles to start off the conversation, because there's articles on reparations right now because it's the hot topic. You know what I'm saying? And family, we got to move it from just being the hot topic to being the topic and the litmus test for everybody that says they want to deal with us as black people. Yes. As black people, we have to start putting ourselves first politically. I'm just putting that out there, family, and y'all really need to think about that. As a community, in order to secure the future of our children, we have to be politically selfish. We have to put ourselves out there. And after we are able to receive some help, we can help others. But we got to help ourselves first, because it's getting bad out here. It's getting bad in these streets. You know what I'm saying? It's getting bad out here, right? So now, what I have is some ambrosia. And for those who are waiting for the ambrosia, we have some ready. Yep, I just have to transfer the bottles and filter it out because everybody can't drink it straight like me. Nope, or many can't drink it aged like me. So I will be contacting those people who already put their orders in. So Brother Kwame, be aware that you will be receiving a call a little bit later on today, right? Elder Ori Pianki, you will be receiving a call later on today for your order. Now, as far as Ori Pianki, the red I am delayed on, but I have everything else. No, but your ginseng red, I have. The other red, just the plain red, it might need a little bit more time. I'm gonna look at it and see, because we here at Gye-Nyame Journey will serve no ambrosia before it's time, right? Because this is our staple here. This is our what they call it, the flagship. This is our flagship product here, right? So I'm gonna go on and pour. This one is not as thick as the last one. I'm kind of disappointed in that fact, but the bouquet is just marvelous. And look, wait, hold on, look at how it pours. Hey, look, yeah, girl, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. Yep. So this one is young. We're gonna let it get older. We're going to let it be confined for a little bit. But we're going to do this toast. If you have ancestors that you want me to throw up as well, you could just post them down here and I will see them and I will read them out and add them to the list. Or you could also do the G&J, get on the black signal, text me your ancestors, right? Or you could also inbox us on Gye-Nyame Journey. And I'll get around, I'll try to check all the messages. But listen, family. Those that really want to get into the intricate part of Gye-Nyame Journey, go to our not our page, but the group. Oh my God! I mean, I'm going down that timeline. That timeline, it looks good. I'm sitting up here like, damn, all this been going on. I've been missing out. I'm on the page, like thinking I'm doing something. When I looked at all the stuff that I was missing by not getting in the group more often. I'm like, damn, I'm feeling left out. How do I feel left out? Oh, call in number 614-556-4535. I will post it up in a couple of seconds. Elder Tony was reaching out to me, and I think that might be what he's looking for. So I'm gonna text out that number in a second. But first, let's do the toast. So first, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that Creator. We know that the Creator's around us and in everything and all about us. But we want to become conscious of it and be able to look and seek out the Creator. Because, sometimes when things are so available to us, we overlook them. And we don't never want to overlook this creative force, creative energy, whatever you call it, Creator, however you see it. You know what I'm saying? We never want to overlook the power and the beauty and the presence. You know what I'm saying? Realizing that every moment we are in the presence. Right? Right? So we lift up our glass and we say Ashe. So and that allows us to move to our ancestors and pulling out the list of our personal ancestors, family. I felt that it was important. You know what I'm saying? Libations is very important to me, and it's something that's been a major part of my life for damn near 30 years now. But as I got deeper into it, I started noticing that a lot of people were spending more time on pouring libations for the famous ancestors rather than their direct family line. You understand what I'm saying? Rather than their direct family line. So we started this show so that we could go and have our conversation but uplift our family line. And by us doing that, we started being able to form a tribe around our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? We have a love for our ancestors. We have a love for those individuals that had a heavy and true impact on our lives. You know what I'm saying? One an impact before we could speak, an impact in how we think, an impact in how we move right now, an impact on where we are right now in our personal lives. And I think, and it became a travesty for me to do libations, and somebody could say 15 famous ancestors, but could only say 3 of theirs. And it wasn't because the information wasn't there, because I know most of us, we as black people in America, you know what I'm saying, as ADOS, many of us can't go back past 3 or 4 generations, right? But we still have loved ones that have impacted us that might be directly related to us by blood or related to us by spirit. And we want to lift those people up. So family, we grab our glass and we uplift our glass for our ancestors. And here is the list that we have been compiling over the last 3 years. Last 3 years, man. Listen, man, that deserves a thunderclap. Thank you, Anime. Y'all didn't know that, right? Anime is a phoenix. Phoenix not only has the phoenix screen, give them the phoenix screen, Anime, so they know what I'm talking about. She not only had a phoenix screen, but she's also known as a thunderbird for a reason. So she getting 2 checks off of Gye-Nyame journey, right? 2 checks. Now, I don't know if anybody else out there got mystic animals, right? But, you know, they all have certain skills, right? But the phoenix is the bomb, because she fills in 2 spots for us here at Gye-Nyame Journey. So here we go. Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robin the Tex, Anna Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walter, Kristen Fanny Gatson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva, Brown Marker, Ellis Wash, Ellis Cecil, Ellis Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pimenel, Noma X, Pet Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ageni, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley and the Luxter Brothers, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Gil Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rindelman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lewis Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kelly D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clayburg, B.D. Sarah Levita Farmer, Agoso Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Alda Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, May Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Sergeant Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Banks, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kendi, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quills, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Moorman, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatel Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frecka Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dillimon Aries, Jean and Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Make sure. Okay. Let me do one more thing. I'm going to take that off. Want to make sure that I am able to catch your comments as well. So I'm pulling up my Facebook because it's off. I seen some messages earlier, but now they're gone. I want to see what's going on and make sure that I'm able to get you. So they got me streaming on. Okay. Incredible. Incredible. All right, Facebook, I don't know what y'all be doing, but y'all need to get it together. We're pausing for a second, family. Pausing for a second. Just want to see what's going on. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. There they go right there. There they go. Okay. All right. We got it. All right, here we go. William Walter West, Nigella Parrish, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Headley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbert Longmire, Izzy Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irving, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Dorr, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eulin Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball, Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatchet Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hadstad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford, Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alice Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry Ward Staton, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, JaVale McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Sheckham Aha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edwin R. Benson Sr., Esther H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadish, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Cooper, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. And for the new list that we have, because y'all see we got 2 pages, and as I always like to brag, us, the Daily Toasters, those of us that are toasters, look, we took up 2 pages in the Kwanzaa book. We moving for 3 to 4 next year. This ain't even counting the Gye-Nyame Journey pages, right? Oh, what? That's that Gye-Nyame, what? Is that Gye-Nyame Journey? Yep. In that book, look, for Gye-Nyame Journey to Daily Toasters too. We all one family though, but right? Daily Toasters, we're going to take over. Next year, we're going to take over. We're going to have about 3 to 4 pages. Yeah, family. All right, listen, I'm not playing with these. I'm not playing with our ancestors. Listen, our ancestors are what combined us and bind us, and we stand upon their shoulders, and we want to salute every last one of them. We want to salute and we want to celebrate their names. We want to call out their names on a daily basis. This is not a game. Right? So when we talk about reparations, we're not only talking about, because some of y'all only thinking about yourselves. You got to think about your legacy, right? This is you collecting the legacy for your ancestors so that you could pass it on to your children, not so that you could go out there and buy a bunch of shit. Understand that this is bigger than you having your come up and you going and tricking off your money in strip clubs and smoking up pounds of weed and shit and doing stupid shit. This is about the legacy. So you need to at least take a portion of that money and put it in a fund for our children. The children directly in your family, and then come together with others that are organizing so that we can start moving on an international level. This is what I don't want, we're going to get to that conversation in a minute. Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony. All that water trying to come up out of me. Oh, y'all would have saw it. That one, shit. Ooh. Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James, Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang, Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joey, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Crazy Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacy Trice, Denise Gorey, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khaled Isin Nigel Turner, and Demetrius Lewis Flint. We lift up our glass and we salute all of our illustrious ancestors. We toast them and we say, I say, from their family we move to the present moment, and we know that the moment is where we are, and this is where all our power is, family, right? So we can draw energy from the past, right? To move forward with force so that we can lay down a firm foundation upon which our children can stand. We want their foundation to be more stable than ours so that they can build their monuments of greatness, right? So we lift up our glass because we select this moment. For those that don't know, in this moment right now, we are on Imani, right? The day is Imani. For those that don't speak the language, Imani means faith. So what I want you to do is activate your reticular formations in the brain, right here. Those, well, that might not be there, but it's in the brain. I don't know exactly. Those neurosurgeons out there, because we got them coming, because Gye-Nyame journey is growing, our family is growing, but those people that know where the reticular formation, show me where to point at on the head, where the reticular formation is, activate the reticular formation, and we're seeking out Imani right now. We're seeking out faith. Where's faith active in your life? Where's faith active in your community? Where's faith active in your family? Where's faith active in your job? Where's faith active in the organization that you're working with? And when you find it, take a picture of it and post it up. You can post it up on your timeline, but you're always welcome to post them up on Gye-Nyame Journey. Or you could do it as a lot of people I'm starting to find. I'm feeling left out. And I started the goddamn group. A lot of them they started right in the group. And I'm sitting up here like, damn. I've been looking at the page. I've been looking for your post on the page. Y'all been posting it in the group. And I'm like, damn, that makes sense. Why didn't I think of that? Right? So we want to start looking for what we want. So the challenge is we have taken the days of the week and we started using Nguzo Saba. We used each principle for a day. Today is Imani. And we're looking for Imani. So we're speaking the words, but we're also looking for that reality. Where is it in our life? It might be small, but I'm trying to tell you, it's there and you can find it. And when you find it and you start learning how to find it, it'll become magnified in your life. So you're going to be able to see your principles popping off all the time around you. We have been trained to look for what we don't want. We have been designed to look for things that are dangerous. That's what the reticular formation is for. It helps us identify what we're looking for. And those things that if we're not conscious of, we're always going to pick up the things that are in direct conflict with our survival. But you can also use the reticular formation to help you locate and identify what it is that you desire. So right now I'm asking you, do you desire faith in your life? Do you desire any of these principles that we talk about on Gye-Nyame? And activate that reticular formation to find it. The modic principle of the day is harmony. The M7 of the day is trust. The color is red. The gender, gender is the Hermetic law of the day. Male name today is Kwesi. It's your day, Kwesi. It's your day, Kwesi. It's your day, Kwesi. It's your day. So shouts out to all of our Kwesis, and number one Kwesi, right? Well, we got two Kwesis. We got Kwesi Low, and we got Kwesi Cleve, and that's Cleve downstairs. Cleve is a Kwesi. So also, shouts out to the female name, which is Akasua. We need an Akasua now. Where my Akasuas at? Right? So we lift up our glass, and we salute this moment, make our pact firm with our past generations. Because remember, family, because we're going to be talking about this pact, right? That's what we're going to hit on it hard today. The pact that you have with your ancestors. The pact that you have with the past in the present moment, right? So that we could go on and build this foundation for our future generation. And speaking of the future generations, guess what? We're lifting up our glass to our children's children, on to infinity. We are responsible, as our Native American brothers and sisters say, for at least the next 7 generations. But we not only toast for the next 7 generations, we toast into infinity because we have always been here. And guess what, family? Guess what, black folks? We gonna always be here, right? We lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, where do we go? Of course, we move on to all of our relations, right? And we toast and we say Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? There we go to that selfish toast. What is it that you need right now? What is it that you need right now? I told you I drink my stuff unfiltered. Y'all see that? That's a piece of SCOBY floating around in there. And I'm going to get that. And we're going to talk a little bit about gut health too in today's discussion. Because I got several articles that we're going to start going through. Because I had to start going back through articles so that I could have stuff to at least post up so that we could go have some information to put in the book other than just the shows, right? in the magazine or the newsletter. It's actually going to, if we're going to do a month, it's going to be a damn magazine. Because everybody in Gye-Nyame Journey going to have to contribute. All right? So, we toast all of our relations. No, this your selfish toast, right? This for you. What is it that you need? Right? And we say, Ashe. Last but not least, I toast the most powerful, most magnificent, most beautiful, most uplifting, strongest, the individual that brings the unity, the individual that brings the self-determination, the individual help us identify purpose, the person that is very cooperative, person that is that understands collective, the purpose, the person that brings faith into the room. Right? And creativity. We lift up our glass to that individual. You know who that individual is? I don't want you looking around. I want you looking at yourself. It's you. That's right. Don't run from it. No, don't deny it. It's you. I lift my glass to you and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy in 100 years. And now the conversation can commence. I said that wrong. Commence. All right. So let me do this. I'm going to post up. Call in line is open at 614-556-4535. All right. Let me put this on because I can't, for some reason, they will not, well, I ain't going to get all into that. Call in lines are open. Six 556-4535. Then also, let's make sure y'all get that over there in Gye-Nyame Journey, 614. Call-in lines are open. Six 556-4535. All right. So we done posted it up on all frameworks, all networks. Here we go. Make sure the lines are open. We want to thank Sister Navita for calling in earlier and having a conversation about G&J Mall. Remember, the next G&J Mall is 3/30 or March the 30th. It's a Kaumba from 12 to 6 p.m. We still have to decide on what movie we're going to show. We're going to have plenty of space for vendors. Family, I'm trying to tell you, I want to pack the building. Right? So if you have idea or something that you want to market, if you have a social service agency, if you have a lawn care business, if you have a plumbing business, if you have an electrician business, a general contracting business, hell, if you do foot massages, if you do back rubs, if you do, listen, the sky's the limit. I don't want y'all, this ain't just for no shea butter, right? This ain't just for no African clothes. This is a market, a mall where you could come and not only come, be safe, support the community and support G&J, right? Because these funds, like yesterday, we had a meeting. Guess what? I was able to look at one of the young brothers and be like, order some pizza. Usually we have to be like, nope. We was able to get some food. We're about to get some food. We had a powerful meeting, and at the end, we was able to feed people. Even though he went and got some pizza, that I was kind of hurt, But you got to work with what you got. I'm trying my best. He went and got Little Caesar's pizza. How could you? How could you? Little Caesars? Is the budget that low? We might as well have gotten some frozen pizza. Sister Navita back. What's going on?
My grandson said He like Little Caesars. I think Little Caesars is shitty though. But my grandson said, "Hold on, let me turn my TV down." Oh, I'm so. hold on. I got contraptions over here. Okay, sorry about that. Real life here.
Real life on Gye-Nyame journey. Now I'm drinking some coffee.
I wanted to continue a little bit more on people really coming through and how imperative it is to support the G&J Community Mall. If there's any vendors out, then I would like them to sign up. Anybody who knows a vendor or who knows a vendor, it's the promotional piece is we need the community to come in as a whole to promote this piece.
So for those that won't know what I'm doing, I'm making some culturally appropriate coffee, because we talk about culturally appropriate, So I'm doing some ambrosia in my coffee as well as some coconut oil. Just throwing that out there, and you will be able. Oh my God! But dang.
Okay, it's coming back in. It looks like it's still loading. No, but all right, you back?
Yeah, no, that's an old one, baby. You're gonna have to go on and update. It started over. That one ended. I had to start a whole new one. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Mother.
Who's your mom?
Yeah, I can't cuss her out. So.
Well, also, let's get on that reparation piece real quick. I've been posting, and I haven't read the article, but what Bernie Sanders has been asked on several occasions now, I guess, about the reparations and his view on reparations. And he pretty much, one I read that he said, well, there's better ways to reward black folks than reparations.
Now, what Bernie is on trying to solidify his base. Okay, so he want to solidify his base, and reparation is one of those landmine issues that once you embrace it, if it blows and you're not strong enough to maintain it, if you're not Superman, you're going to die politically, right?
Well, he ain't even in support of reparations.
Oh, well, let's put it this way. He left it open for that. He left it open for him to come back and say, I never said I didn't support reparations. I just asked you, what did you mean? And he's asking a legitimate question, because part of what's going on with this whole reparation argument, which I keep on posting up on the page, and not in the group, because maybe I need to start having these conversations within the group, is that people are trying to hijack the narrative of reparations. And basically what we have to do is that we, as smaller media outlets like Gye-Nyame Journey, this is why I'm stressing to the young people and stressing to the family, we are a media outlet. So we got to constantly put out our ideas. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen is that people, any message that we have, people will hijack it. Let me give you an example of that. If we look at rap, when you were younger and when I was younger, when rap first came out, there was gangster rap, there was conscious rap, there was lover rap. There was all types of rap out there. So no matter what your style was, you could find some shit that you could fit into, right? And you could go back and forth in between. But once rap was co-opted, the message became one thing, right? 80% of the shit that comes out is towards our detriment. And the same thing, that's the same thing they do with everything that we want to put out. They co-opt it and change the message so that message will be damaging to us. So what Bernie is asking is a legitimate question. What do you mean by reparations? Now, Bernie Sanders or any Bernie Sanders supporters out there that are listening to Gye-Nyame Journey, all you got to do is go to ADOS101.com. Look up Black Agenda, and you will see some of the stuff that we are demanding. That's only some of it, because in there I don't see, other than talking about black colleges, I don't see a strong educational piece far as for our children from preschool to graduating high school. And we got to really work and solidify that one too, as well. You know what I'm saying? But so what Bernie is asking, because if you listen to Marianne Williamson, who is not really taken seriously by the Democrats or the Republicans, but she threw in her hat and she said $100 billion. She lowballed it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at least she threw it out. Right?
Oh,
she threw it out and helped bring this conversation national attention, right? But there's other people that's been on the ground for a long time, as you see sometime that I share on our timeline on Gye-Nyame Journey. Tone Talks, Yvette Carnell have been pushing hard for this. Now, people ask, so what happened was, if you listen to Marianne Williams when she talk about $100 billion payout, but that's different than what Cory Booker is talking about. Cory Booker is talking about helping everybody through baby bonds. And what we have to watch out for is that's not reparations. You're talking about something else. Now, are you talking about that in addition to reparations? See, because what people have to understand is that reparations at this point in time is an all-black conversation. We're talking about what America is going to do for ADOS, American descendants of slavery. That's specifically who we need to deal with. And what a lot of people don't understand is that we are voting as a block. Many of us are voting as a block. So what the politicians have to get and have to understand is that if we're voting as a block, this means that we're not voting as a block. We're not voting as a block. That's my mama trying to cut me off again. All you gotta do is look. All you gotta do is look at somebody. Call my mama that's out there that got my mama's number and let her know I'm on. I Cleve on punishment, so I can't even tell him to call. Hey, Shasha and Gina, y'all got your grandmama's number on that on your little contraption? Okay, they can't help me either. Well, come here. Let me give you your grandma's number. I need somebody to call my mom before she totally destroys my
boot you off again.
Yeah. Cause on these phones you got settings. So I have like my mom is there's no way that cause like you got settings, we got privacy settings and stuff like that. And my mom, I put her on a setting where her call takes precedent. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like she'll come on. You can call me, and you important. Don't get me wrong, Nabita. You call me, but if I'm in a meeting, your call will not ring through. If I'm in a meeting and my mom calls me, her call ring through. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't never know what she needs. All right, Cleve. Need girl shoe sizes. Woman, please. All right, listen. All right. All right, cool. All right. Call your, you know what? Get on here and don't get on your thing and call your grandma. All right, somebody else is on the line. But back to the reparations. So we got Cory Booker talking about baby bonds, because I'm going to read an article on this. He's talking about baby bonds, and that's for everybody. And what we got to understand is that when black folks throw their hat in with everybody, we get washed out. What we want is specific legislation for us. We got Kamala Harris, talking about a LIFT program. And this is for all people. It's not for us. Even though she's saying, hey, yes, I think there's some reparations due. Then we got, who else? We got another woman, Warren. I think her last name is Warren. She's talking about reparations for Native Americans and ADOS. But the issue we have with that piece is that once again we're mixing groups, and we can't do that on this issue. Can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because first off, the Indians gonna get they've been getting their stuff, and they're gonna get robbed, and we gonna get robbed. So we want it specifically for us. Now that's what Bernie's saying. He's asking the question, what do you mean? Because you got all these different people talking about different shit, and you got this whole Democratic piece trying to get in and craft their arguments so that they will get our vote. Now, what I don't think a lot of people understand about Bernie Sanders, and this is my personal piece, and I'm not a political expert by no standards, but I'm gonna say this: Bernie piece is what I call a placeholder. Bernie Sanders, what he did in the last election when he went up against Hillary Clinton, was that he attacked the Democratic agenda from a radical angle that brought on a lot of people that wasn't voting before, and right at the end of that, he just turned around and was able to hand that off to Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's a placeholder. So he gets those on the fringe out there and brings them in, and then right when he gonna go run hard and Bernie's gonna give it his all, but you know, at the end he's going to agree to just give his shit to the Democratic Party. That's not real change for me. You know what I'm saying? That's just more of the same shit. That's hustle. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's I call it placeholding, where a motherfucker just, you know, you my boy. You call her?
They about to call her.
All right. You my boy, and we're running a hustle. We're running a hustle, and what this hustle allows us to do is to fool the people to think that they are voting for you, but really what you're going to do, you're going to turn around and be like, I tell my dude, I'm going to turn over all my stuff to him, and I'm going to give him full support. And if you truly follow me, then you will give them your full support too. So we can't fall for that bullshit anyway. You know what I'm saying? But any candidate that pops up and is not specifically talking to us and not saying our name is gonna get the cold shoulder from the black community. At least those of us that's thinking like this. So we got Shaka on the line, and we also have Miss Kim on the line. I'm gonna let Miss Kim go first because we don't know how her signal is. So Sister Kim, what's going on?
Hey, thanks a lot. Because the lights have been going out today, so who knows what's going to happen. But I just wanted to say, Nikita, I agree with you about Bernie. I actually listened to the speech, and he didn't mention African American descendants of slaves as a particular group. He mentioned every group except for us.
Everyone.
He said everyone except for us. And in the end, he said, I want everybody to come together. He said, I want black. He said black first. Black, white, Latino, all these people to come together to vote for him. But when he said about doing anything for any group, he did not mention us.
At all.
At all.
We are afterthought. We are the side chick of politics.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that shit. Put a ring on it, motherfucker. Put a ring on it. You want black folks?
Yeah.
We need commitment. No
so
longer.
We didn't get it. And I was really excited about the stuff he was saying. Like, I was cheering, I was jumping up for joy. He was saying anything that a poor person would want to hear. You know, everything is what poor people need. So yeah, I was like, yeah. And then when he got down to it, I said, oh, but he's not mentioning us at all.
At all.
So I said, I'm not going for this. So Bernie can get his liberals to vote for him.
Yeah,
because I'm not doing it
now. So it's still early in the race because now y'all got to remember Joe Biden is running, and there's other people that's coming out, and what they're doing right now with Bernie and the rest of these, they're testing the waters. So what we have to do is once again control the narrative on reparations, and we got to stop a lot of these talking heads from just popping in.
True.
From just popping in and all of a sudden coming up with some shit that is friendly for everybody. What we need to start funneling people over to ADOS101.com. And family, I'm not getting any benefit from this, or you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that for me, that's one of the first sites, or one of the first sites that has an ADOS agenda that can at least be discussed and picked up upon. Right? You want to talk to me? Grab that agenda and let's talk about some of those points and some of the additional shit that I might need for my community. I mean, because the whole piece is, what we're going to have is, we're going to have the Democratic Party constructing a black agenda. And if the Democratic Party constructs a black agenda, it's not a black agenda, it's a Democratic agenda. And we want them to address our specific needs that our experts have identified and get them to, one, let us know what they're going to be able to do, what they are going to be able to push, and what they are not going to be able to push. And then when they get in their office, we as a voting bloc have two choices. If you do what you say you're going to do, you have our support, and but we're going to push you. Second, if you don't, we have a right to try to recall your ass, and we will promise you that you will receive the hellfire of our dissatisfaction, just like with all those other groups. Because once again, we are suffering from this Jesus complex where we believe that we have to suffer for the world. And I'm telling you right now, for a lot of us that's doing this, that is the biggest sin, because if you don't take care of you first, how are you supposed to go to heaven?
What's her house number?
I'm sorry. Sister Kim, y'all can't let me, y'all gotta stop me. I'm on the road. Y'all still there?
You did. It's great.
You know, you got Brother Shaka. Go ahead, man. What's up?
You know, Hashem, I think that it is really time for us to investigate outside of the scope that we have been magnifying on for so long. And what I mean by that is that while as a unit, I understand you want to keep a particular identity to maintain the integrity of this conversation of reparations, right?
Oh yeah. I'm going to keep it though. I want to. I have to. Because I understand.
But there's two things. Listen.
Go ahead.
There's two things that I wanted to bring to that. Because as you stated, there are other people on board with the conversation. We got to really put ourselves in a realistic part of that conversation with everybody else. When you say, all right, we're going to maintain this identity, and people have already accepted that this is the race that other races have come from, right? They've accepted that part of the conversation. They've accepted the historical. They've accepted. Now, when it comes to the political, here's the piece that I must address. That number one, I don't talk politics much because I understand now that it's just a relationship game. You never know who's in bed with who. You never know who is sold out by whatever, because politics is all about changing faces. All right, because at the same, there is no one issue that hasn't been embraced by both sides, no matter what party you're talking about. It's just a matter of time and a matter of persuading public opinion for the popularity of that. So for me, it's not even about the issues. It's about how do we move towards that with a sense of togetherness that allows us to maintain or to establish the influence that other folks in this rat race have. And the piece is that while we want a very particular reaction the struggling class of America is the majority, and that's the people. We're not talking about the people who are connected to the system. We're talking about the struggling class of America, and that's who, you know, as a vanguard, that is who I am looking to persuade. It's the struggling class, because there's more commonality that makes us. That you understand what I'm saying? When we bring these issues delicately as a people, see, this is the thing, is that we're building relationships with the struggling class of America, which is the majority of American culture. Go ahead.
Who has more of a relationship with the struggling class of America than black folks? We don't have to establish no relationship, because we are a lot of the struggling class. And the piece is, we can't.
But are we in alignment?
But hold on, maybe you're not feeling the sense of urgency. But let me explain the sense of urgency to you. Shaka, you're working on a project, and you was working on a project last time, and you like, man, if I only could get my tribe to support me. Your tribe can't support you because your tribe don't have no money. Your tribe don't have no wealth. The reason we don't have no wealth is because we have been systematically placed at the bottom. So you talking about gingerly dealing with this shit when we've been gingerly dealing with it for the last 50 years. Now, I'm not concerned about everybody else anymore, because I understand that this plane is going down, and I'm trying to put the mask on. I've been trying to put the mask on everybody. I need to put the mask on me first, because I honestly believe that when we start doing better, everybody else is going to be able to start doing better, because we have always been that type of people. We come from people, like, for example, you probably got stories with your own grandmother where she not only took you in, but she took in other young people that might not even been blood relatives to you. This is the type of people that we come from. And I'm saying we don't have to. And then on top of that, man, listen, there is a debt owed. I owe it to my ancestors, and I owe it to my future generations to get out here right now and start having this discussion. And I'm 50. I'm not waiting for the next election because they've been doing the wait for the right time hustle for a long time. You know that. We both work for nonprofits where these motherfuckers will tell us, hey, get out here and help us raise these votes. And after we pass the bill, we'll get you the money. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go for that shit then. I'm not going for that shit now. I'm not waiting for you to get in office. I want you to be clear with me. Are you with me or are you not with me? So I ain't got to vote with you.
That's what I'm saying, Hatem, is that the thing is that when you, all I'm saying is that people want, people outside of our demographic, from what you said, are on board. And what I'm saying is that this is the case scenario where we have to be realistic about what we're spoon feeding them, because at the end of the day, because they're on board, we can establish an alliance. But the thing is that we have to be very particular about the response that we're soliciting. And
what's more realistic than the truth?
No. I'm not saying. Listen. I'm not saying that. I ain't saying there's anything wrong with what is being presented. I'm saying when we present it to folks who we want to, we don't necessarily have opposition with, because I've seen this in other conversations, is where we seem so radical in the eyes of others because of how we are presenting our platform, not what is being stated, but sometimes that's the energy that is conveyed. So the piece is that in writing, when they see exactly what it is, and they can say, oh, well, I can see that. If I was in their shoes, I would want the same thing, right? And then when the questions are asked, they already have in context the resolve that we're looking for. Right now, I think because we have, well, for whatever reason, I don't think that it's being addressed like that.
Shaka, what you're saying is you want us to soft shoe it in. When we have been soft shoeing in this political system for a very long time. And me and your generation, right, we may be the last stand for our people. That's all I'm saying, man. Listen, do you know why a lot of people will object to this? Because they're not able to get anything out of it. Or at least they perceive that they will not be able to get anything out of it. This is where we have an opposition. Everybody wants to get something, but we have a legitimate claim. Now, how do I bring the fact that I have a legitimate claim to you in a way that can make you feel comfortable when you are going to be one of the ones that's going to have to help pay for that claim? There's no way. You're not going to hear it anyway. It's sort
right.
of like,
and so here's what I'm saying, Hatim.
Go ahead.
Here's what I'm saying is that, all right, that's where we are in the conversation because you believe in a particular process. You believe that when it comes to your big picture of what we want out of this whole thing after the reparation, all right, after we collectively invest and create the communities that, see, the thing is that there are those, all right, remember I told you the story of the woman who I gave the 2 bottles of June to, and in turn she gave me her son's number, who was a hard money lender.
Mm-hmm.
Well, piece is that on the hard money side, it was too late to get them involved in the conversation about that church. But a few weeks ago, I called them about the same idea on a different property, the same one I told you about. And he's like, man, you know what? I really would like to. And I really wish that, time worked for us on that church thing. However, right now, me and my 5 partners just invested in this whole territory over in Bedford. So all of our money is tied up right now in building what we designed. So the piece is that, okay, there are people of color, hard money lenders who are younger than us. How do we get even them to understand the state of urgency that you are dealing with right now, when right now their system proves advancement for them?
So you're telling me, all right, so so you can't tell them or talk to them and pull down some of the figures that are readily available on here, that in many of the articles that I post up on my site that talks about the real disparity that Black America is in, far as wealth. We only, if you take out all of, because this is what a lot of people, they don't take out the depreciating assets, right? They leave it in there. So that makes it about 3,000 to 5,000 or something like that. Maybe might even be up around 17,000. But the actual liquid wealth of a majority of, my fault, is even higher. Let's put it this way. The median wealth is $1,700 for over 50% of your people. And if I got to explain that to you, you're not on my side anyway, Shaka. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If me and you got to have this discussion and it's all about you, right? Because those are some of our kids that's been raised on this bag mentality. So no matter how I bring it to them, they may not get it. Other than, hey, right, it might be some money at the end for you. Oh, hell yeah, I'm in. See, I don't need those kind of motherfuckers.
I get that. And here's the piece I tell is that, like, even for my own personal movement with the art, now that I'm at a certain level where I'm looking to engage in partnerships and things like that, the first thing that people tell me is like, stop. Like, I've always respected you as an artist, but we haven't worked together because I didn't feel like that's what you was about. Like, you on this positive thing, but when you write music, you write in your songs. When you produce music, you produce in your songs. I had no idea that you were open to collaborations that wasn't about positivity. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the piece is that, right, like 2 nights ago, Bone Thug and Harmony had this had this little kind of reboot around the corner from me, and I was expected to be involved in it because of our you know, we did an interview back 5 years ago in the Call and Post together, and they talking about getting their grown folk on. I'm pretty sure that you've seen me post or Silver Beat post that article on the timeline since then. So right now, as things are moving towards that in the arts right now, you look at folks that we know that might have thought about me like that because I didn't present it in a way in the state of urgency and saying, hey, well, this is really what the evolution of the Elevated People Project is. It's us all coming together. A lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people don't. And so I can't just shoot an email out so that they get in the conversation because these are very, these are old relationships. And we got to treat these old relationships with a little bit more precedence than, well, I shot the blast out, so everybody should know.
Would y'all call your grandma, please? Gina! Would you call your grandma, please?
I already did.
Call her on the cell phone.
I think she's not answering.
Okay, keep on calling until she pick up. My God. I ain't asked you that. I told you, I gave you a mission. Accomplish it, lady. Real life here, Gye-Nyame journey. What? Excuse me? Excuse me. I thought I heard something.
Because she's probably not answering because mine says unknown.
I don't care. Keep calling until she pick up. Send her a text message. Cleveland, excuse me. Go up there, be quiet. Go up here and send my mom a text message on her phone, please. Let her know to pick up the call so she can stop calling. God damn, I'm trying to have a serious conversation. Here, go up there with them. They got the number. On the text number. On you know how to do it. Text her, let her know that they're calling her. Oh my God. But go ahead, Shaka. I'm sorry, man. See, and I want to say this to you. This whole conversation of reparations is no longer a fringe discussion. It's no longer something that somebody in a corner somewhere just came up with and is now throwing out questions. It's everywhere now. It's quite different than one of our movements where we sending out asking people for funds. Because it's on the national platform. Every time you turn, I got reparations on my search, and now that's blowing up. I got ADOS on my search, and now that's blowing up. This whole conversation is a national conversation. So for somebody to be like, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what you're trying to say. I'm not clear. Help me see. But Lady J just joined us. Happy belated birthday, baby.
I give you both sides right now. Right now, what I'm pushing is popularity through influence. On one side of the coin, I'm saying that we have young folks, young Black Americans, who understand that territory is the way. So they got the means to acquire territory. What they're doing with it, I have no idea. However, they know what I would do if I had it. But I haven't inserted myself in that conversation to see if the territory that they have would be conducive to the idea of community building. Now, on the other side, and I know this seems like a stretch, but on the other side, I got a company that bought off my account, my Walmart account, right? And even though it's a consumer credit situation, They feel like they haven't gotten the attention from me that they deserve. So now they're trying to make it, they're trying to package it up as a court matter, as a legal matter, to make me pay attention to the $700 debt. If I did not know what my consumer rights were, I'd be shaking in my boots. But I know that it's just a consumer credit situation, and it doesn't warrant that type of activity. So the piece is that they're using their power of influence to try to be bullies. On the other side, I have the opportunity to pitch to this investment group to see if my business practice would fit into their property investment.
Shaka, get to the chase, man. What this got to do with reparations? Help me understand.
Relationships, Tim. Relationships. How do we, at this point, now that we got folks who are in the conversation, how do we corral them into a conversation where we can all win at once?
Shaka, listen. We all been winning since 1970. Let's just keep it real. We all been winning since 1970. It's time for us all to start winning and stop worrying about everybody winning, and we need to start winning. That's all I'm saying, bro. There's no way that you're going to...
So we need reparations in order to start winning? Is that what you're saying?
I think that will help. Yeah.
And what would this reparations look like? Would this look like
wait, stop. Hold on. Time out. Stop. Because before you come in, I want you to get off the line. First, happy birthday, my dear. Go to ADOS101.com. Look at the Black Agenda. Because I done said that about 15 times. We're not about to. Now, I'll read that agenda for y'all if y'all want to have this discussion. Because you're not going to sideline this discussion with this shit. Well, how's that going to look? Nobody asks how it's going to look.
I'm not trying to sideline, but I do want to bring up a point.
Well, bring it up.
I have a point to make. So every I'm a social studies teacher. I do not teach history. I teach social studies. And everywhere we go, we look at the social structure, right? We look at this hierarchy within our society. And one thing that is consistent that I tell my students is that, when I draw it up there and I draw out, what it looks like in the United States, in comparison to what it looks like in some places, even to this day, like India, I make it a point to always remind them that Miss Frost is a working class. And they ask me, well, Ms. Frost, what's the difference? What is the working class? And I tell them, working class means I have middle class values. I have middle class things, but I own no property. So my questioning is that if we want wealth, which our children can inherit, I am simply saying that it would behoove us not to be giving something in the means of property. I think that's why they said 30 acres and a mule to begin with, because we know what property brings wealth and it brings equity, right? So just handing out money. If you don't, Lady J,
hold on,
okay.
Lady, stop. Lady J, your point is based on handing out money. Once again, I'm gonna tell you, go to ADOS101.com and then come back, and then on top of that, stop pocket watching. See, this one of the issues. Yeah, because wait, hold on, time out. Let's say, hold on, because this is one of the arguments that kill me. What if they do give it out? What if they give out all money? And we say, well, that's not the solution. You're not gonna take the money? You're not gonna do something intelligent with the money? Okay. I can't deal with everybody else.
This is my thing.
Go ahead.
We got to be I don't. Sometimes I just don't understand how Tim. Are we trying to heal the wound? Are we trying to repair it? or we trying to put a Band-Aid on it?
Time out. So you saying
to secure generational wealth, because generations, what we have inherited through
have you
the position that we're in now.
Lady J, once again, you're talking from a point where you have not done any research on it. I just gave you the site. Before we had this conversation,
so
go to the site.
Let me finish this thought. You are very, I see what you're doing here, right? I see what you're doing here, sir. And I'm going to go check out I'm going to go check out your website. But what I'm telling you is something this has been a conversation on the table. So I'm telling you my thoughts. Period. And I'm not talking about from a place of reparations. I'm talking about from a place of how do we lift up? How do we break a cycle? That's what I'm telling you from. How are we going to break this cycle? And in order to break this cycle, the same way we have inherited generational curses, we're going to have to procure generational wealth. And one piece that comes with is property, which is why I said, as I previously stated, going back to a primary source, it said 30 acres and a mule.
It said 40 acres. It said 40 acres and a mule. It was 40 acres and a mule.
I'm still intoxicated, but 40 acres and a mule.
Right.
There's a reason why.
And when you calculate that out, hold on. If you go to the document, one of the economists that's working on this movement has calculated how much 40 acres and a mule would have been with interest if we would have got it, and has put an amount on there that would replace that. But money is one of the remedies, my dear. Money is one of the remedies. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be corrected in order for black folks to actually be able to live and exist in a country that we built. Money is one of them.
I got a few. And a lot of it starts at the local level. I got some suggestions.
But hold on, stop. Hold on. Listen. Your agenda is cool, but first read the agenda that I'm coming from.
Why you keep promoting this agenda?
Because black folks need to have black time out. See, because black folks, you get on here, and when you start going, you start talking about the nigger cries rivers or some shit, and you go back to it, and I'm just saying, I'm trying to get you to go and get the talking points before, like I said, because we all need to look at this. You don't necessarily even have to agree with that agenda. You might want to add something to it, but it is a starting point. Rather than coming from and pulling from our ass new ideas, let's look at some of the stuff that's out there. Now, and reparations has been on the board for a long time, but the major difference between the reparation discussion now and the reparation discussion since 1987 has been that black folks have been saying all of us need to get reparations. It's regardless. This one is a specific claim against the United States of America. Period. And it deals with people who were directly affected by the United States of America. But I have a caller that's calling in from Ouagadougou over in Africa. I'm gonna let her go because she called in to respond. Go ahead, go ahead.
I just want to bring us back to the idea that this is a debt that's owed. So the thing is, this is what we should have gotten and we didn't get. So when we get the debt that's owed, what we do with that is up to us.
Right.
How that impacts us in the future is up to us. But the fact of the matter is, it's a debt that's owed to us.
And that's what. Go ahead.
And that's what I was saying, Hashem. Walmart would never take me to court. This dude, the people that they sold it, and I know it seemed like we having two different conversations, but we not. The manner that they trying to collect from me, they realize that the old routine don't work. So they try to dress it up and make it seem like a legal battle. Right?
It is a legal battle.
And the piece is that what I'm saying to you is that from the outside looking in, it just seemed like regular business. But I'm saying for you, taking myself out of the equation and understanding your equity in the conversation, how do we address that with a state of urgency that that causes people to draw towards that your idea, your vision of progress outside of what they're doing, which they may already think is progress?
See, and this is why I keep on talking to y'all about circling the wagons. Shaka, I'm Lady J is into the recruiting outside right now. I'm not.
Okay.
You understand me? I'm beyond that. There's other people that are much better at that than I am. I'm not trying to do that right now. I have to solidify the group that I'm working with right now so that when it comes time for us to take action, we can. When it's time to vote, I can have what I need, and boom, family, we need to move like this. Those that's gonna move with me. I have to circle my wagons. I don't got time to be out here trying to make people feel comfortable about some shit that's owed to me, that's owed to my kids, that's owed to your kids. I don't think we have to. We're not having a proper discussion. We have been doing respectability politics longer than anybody else, and it has gotten us nothing. Nothing.
We have been doing what?
Respectability politics.
Tim,
go ahead.
I'm trying to put this in my mind. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the cinematic effect. Like when we show up, is we showing up like Panther? Guns on the State House lawn, or we showing up like Malcolm X, like he points a finger and we show a uniformity that they ain't never seen in us? Are we showing up like John Q, like, yo, this is what I'm demanding, or are we showing up with a request?
What's even more powerful is that we might not even show up. Now, also, the formations that you're talking about are happening on the internet every day. Just go through your YouTube timeline, go through your Facebook timeline, go through your news timeline. This is in the headlines. The discussion. So now what we have to become versed with the information that will give us power so that we can not only win the argument, but even move some hearts, because if America's about justice, because we throw something up like that, it's about justice, we're the justice for black folks.
In every other country that do can I say something, please?
When you turn that stuff down in the background, baby. Is that you?
Yeah, somebody has feedback.
But that's a different debate, guys.
Turn down the background, Lady J. I still hear me in the background. Go ahead.
Say it again?
Go ahead, Lady J.
I was going to ask a question. Did you actually say that somebody's background is like killing it?
Nah, it's coming from you.
What? Is it coming from me?
No, it's good. When the Vita got on, she didn't turn her stuff off. But go ahead, Lady J.
I just want to know, what did you say about African Americans' political participation?
Go ahead.
What did you say? What did you say about?
If we vote as a block, we could decide to vote for an opponent. For a candidate or opponent, however you want to look at it, or we could decide not to vote at all as a group. That's the power to vote.
Can I add something into that, what he just said? I think
appropriations legislation, and now he wants to declare an emergency.
Lady J.
Yeah.
What's going on in the background, baby?
I don't know what's going on in the back.
Yeah, it's your background. Go ahead, Sister Kim.
No, I was just going to say, kind of, this is what we typically do. when you have a situation like this and we have a lot of people kind of disgruntled with the election, typically the voter turnout is super, super low. So that's kind of what we do as a block. We do really vote as a block. We either all get out or we all don't show up.
Right.
So I think, that's why the Dems are kind of reacting the way they are acting, because they know that can't happen, because it happened with Hillary.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, but see, what we have to understand is that voting is a weapon. Voting, whether you vote or don't vote, what you vote for, it all tells about what the people want. And by people's, how can I put it? Voting is a weapon. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just a right. It's something that could be used so that those that are supposed to be representing you can hear it. Whether you vote, and they know who votes and they know who don't vote. They have you every time you go to the polls, you sign in. They got your race, they got your address, they know all of it. So they're able to look at the groups that voted and the groups that didn't vote. Now what we're saying is, let's start using that as a weapon. It's a strategic tool. Some people just going out to vote because they come up with this whole fantasy thing. Well, our ancestors died so that we can vote. No, our ancestors died so that we can have the right to vote or the right not to vote. But most importantly, having the right to be able to use the vote to influence our lives. And it hasn't been influencing our lives because we've been giving it away. Because most of us are satisfied with being a side chick. Black folks are a side chick. So we want to talk nice to the sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying? Go on over there with your other women. I'll always be here for you. No, enough of that shit. Enough of that. It don't make no sense. And then, it's like, it's like we got experts. We have enough expertise in our community to decide on what are the best uses of a reparations program. Yes, they're going to be cash payouts. Yes, I'm letting y'all know that. Part of that is going to be cash payouts because there is a gap there. And what families could go out and buy territory if they want. They can invest in other countries if they want. But at least they got the freedom to do it. Right now, we don't have the freedom to do it. We're existing in the country, and many of us living a third world existence. This shit don't make no sense. And for some reason, because I could dress it up nice with some nice ass tennis shoes, or go out and buy me a pair of new jeans every now and then, I'm thinking I'm living in America. I'm living as an American. No.
Nope. You're not.
No. That shit has been denied to us for generations, but we want to argue against something that's going to do us good. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I am transfixed on the fact that there's a possibility that what Rockefeller did, my great-great-grandfather could have did. What the train barons did, my great-great-grandfather could have did. But he couldn't do it in America because of the roadblocks that were erected by the government. And now my family's struggling to hang on to a family house, falling out about little bits of money. Come on now, and I know my family's not the only one.
No, no, they not. They're not.
And I know some of us, we come up with these stories about the one individual that succeeded. We're talking about 33 million people. 33. Do you not understand? Do y'all not understand that Warren Buffett may have more money than all black people combined, throwing Oprah in there twice? Do y'all not understand that? Do you not understand that the three, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, if you could combine their wealth, they have more money than the bottom 50% of America.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm sitting up here like, what can you, and at the bottom, I want to stress this. Black folks, when we talk about the bottom 50% of America, that might be about 80% of us.
And that's part of our problem, because we are around the bottom. We don't understand how the other half lives.
At all.
That's all we know.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, we live vicariously through these individuals that we've been given, that's been given a pass. And we start thinking it's possible. Even some of us will go out and vote against tax raises because we say shit like, when I get rich, I don't want them taking my money.
That's true.
Hey, so remember Joe from Brooklyn was speaking on white flight and was talking about how, you know, every time we move out and we, you know, we go to our own community, here comes the do-rider black guy. He moves in, and then all of a sudden his crackhead cousins move in and they ruin the whole thing for everybody. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I say that just because in this process, as you know at Hot Tim, there's got to be something that separates us from the behavior that is scorned upon.
You know what's going to be that separator? You know what's going to separate it? When people, if there are payouts and when people doing stupid shit with their money. See, what we got to understand is regardless of the behavior, see, because the behaviors are a symptom of the cause. What is the overall cause? Yeah. A lot of the behaviors that we are talking about are behaviors that our people had to adapt in order to survive in some form or fashion. There's a sickness there. So part of the reparations will be developing individuals that are able to do therapy specifically for our people, education specifically for our people. We need to become a protected class, Shaka. Now, I don't understand why people don't see that that's part of reparations. Go ahead.
A few years ago, I every year I like to find something to just do research on. Mm-hmm. So a few years ago, I just read a bunch of books about slavery. And I learned, there was one book I was reading, and it was talking about a slave who found $1. And they were like, they didn't know what to do with it. They were just amazed by this $1. And it just hit me because they never had money. They never dealt with money. So, you know, we didn't get reparations, which would have taught us how to handle money. If you look at Black Americans, how many generations do we have of people who actually know how to handle money?
Some people gonna look at it.
We didn't do it for the whole time we were enslaved. We didn't handle money.
True.
And then when we were sharecroppers, you were exchanging goods, so you weren't dealing with money. So for most of us, we didn't really start dealing with money until maybe like our grandparents, the World War II generation, was when they first started dealing with money. And so part of that, if we had had reparations, we wouldn't be in this situation. And part of that is also how some of the immigrants excel past us, because if nothing else, they know how to deal with money. They've been dealing with money. We didn't have that experience.
But you know, Sister Kim, we're going to get those arguments. Well, that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? No, really. See, because this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with...
No, that's the thing, too, Hot Tim, is that, like, you got to realize that, like, in the world that I see every day, and what I'm talking about is, like, I spend less time on Facebook now because people are very accessible on tags. All right, that is no longer a dating site. It's a straight up live site that's really giving Facebook a run for their money right now. Because there's a lot of folks that just went that way and never came back. So the whole piece is, though, is that people do stupid shit on tags. Most of the dudes, and I just heard this from one of the sisters yesterday, like, you know, what do you see? What do you see in terms of the behavior of the men on tag? And she's like, yo, every other live that I go to, a dude that come into money, he just throwing it like piles on a coffee table, right? Mm-hmm. And she's saying that every other dude whose live she goes into, she's experiencing these dudes just showing like, yo, you know, this is what I do, pouring money out of bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do we do to get them? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how do we address them?
Shaka, first off, stay consistent with your message and build, family. We're not gonna get everybody. This is why I'm talking about circling the wagons, man.
Right.
I keep on telling y'all see, it's like y'all want to reach out and y'all want to save everybody. Everybody is not going to make it through. Everybody is not going to make it to the celebration afterwards. Some people gonna get their shit and they're gonna do some fucked up stuff with it. Some people are going to not want to take the services and continue living the lifestyle that they living. That's their choice. That's their choice. Right. I'm talking to a specific audience that are able to understand and are able to go and champion this on the major weapon that we have right now. Facebook, YouTube, tag. If you start doing that, you'll eliminate some of them out of there till they ready. Let them stay out there till they ready. See, because once the gravy chain start, you're gonna hear whole conversations changing, and they're gonna tell you some shit like this, Chaka. I always was on that.
Mm-hmm.
Always was on that.
Right.
Because that's what's going on online right now. See, this is why when people are like, brother, I tell you, why you pushing ADOS101.com? And because the people that made this hot are the ones that put it together. I'm not trying to steal nobody's shine. Period.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And the agenda that they put together is nice. It could have some additions. You understand? We could add some additions because, like I said, I want to cover some stuff about education from K to 12 in that as well. And I'm quite sure other people got it, but that's why they're having a conference in October. You understand what I'm saying? But
now let me ask you this: how accessible are those individuals? Can you have them on the show at all?
They have their own shows.
They got their own show.
You can call in.
They got their own show.
They have their own shows, and you can call in.
Right. Sister Kim done spoke to several of them. I mean, she done spoke to 2 of them on their show.
Oh, that's wow. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And for them to come over to my platform, it would appear that I'm trying to use them to build up my platform, and I don't want to have no parts of no shit like that. What I want to do is you have a good message. Y'all have done the work, and I want to help you. I want to help you help us. So I'm telling all my people on my platform, please go and check that out. ADOS 101, Yvette Carnell, Tone Talks. Look at the data. Look at the work that they have been putting in specifically for ADOS. Now, we got room for allies, and the allies got to understand that they are dealing with a wounded and a hurt people. And in the time of us sitting up here trying to make you feel comfortable because you may be part of the group that has been hurting us, is over. Give me, fuck you, pay me.
Hey, man. I'm
going to do a shirt. Hashtag fuck you, pay me. Go ahead.
I just want to say, please don't mute me.
I muted you.
I just want to.
I muted you because not because of what you said. Now? Yeah, it was because of the background, baby. Because it was. Go ahead.
Okay. So real quick, I just want to say I acknowledge and I appreciate how we speak out about people that hurt us. But every now and again, I got to bring it back to us hurting ourselves, and I hate to say that, but if you look on my Facebook page, there is a reason why I'm wearing a bag over my head right now. And it's not because of anything that anyone has done to us from the outside. It's because of what we continue to do to ourselves. So when I think about nation building, I think about starting at the bottom and working ourselves up. We can't control how people treat us, but we can definitely control how we treat each other. And I just hope that as we band together to support this reparation movement, that it also brings us to a point where we, show respect, appreciation for our culture and our people.
All right. Now,
hey, Hatim.
Go ahead.
This is some magical stuff, man.
You know, I might go off on what you're saying, Lady J, right? And I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because once again, you're speaking truth, right? But it might not be in the right place. Because we can address those issues, because we address those issues in the small ways and things that we're doing, and there are thousands of us out there addressing this in our daily work. And we're doing that. But the masses are not. This is why I keep on telling you, circle the wagons. That's it. Circle the wagons. Because now we...
Well, you
right,
might
hold on. So
saying,
now, see, because what's going to happen is, that's sort of like when people brought out Black Lives Matter, other people would be like, well, no, all lives matter. And they got insulted because we had the audacity, or people had the audacity to say Black Lives Matter. I never really was in support of that, but I let them do their thing. And I never came back with all lives matter.
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
Can I say something about the whole Black Lives Matter, but as if to say Black Lives Matter too. The second piece is that I liked it because it served as a reminder as well. It wasn't just something that we were speaking to the outsiders. We should have been speaking that to ourselves as well. Because again, when I look around my community, when I'm looking on my Facebook, those people who are dying at hands of people that look like them more often than not. So is there an issue with the system? Definitely yes. But again, I can't fix the problem from the top. I got to fix it from the bottom.
Are you doing the work, Lady J?
Yeah, but this is okay.
Now hold on.
Again,
are other people on our platform?
Let me just say this. So I have been toying with a message that I have, because I'm sure that when I type this message, when I deliver this message, I'm going to lose lots of followers and lots of friends on my Facebook. Why? Because people are going to accuse me of being, okay, they're going to use this term wrong, but they're going to accuse me of being an Uncle Tom, because I'm going to be speaking out against things that we do that are counterproductive to our movement. So when I say, yes, I'm doing the work, but it takes more than that. It also takes speaking out. It takes the...
That's doing the work.
It takes the propaganda. It takes the...
Which is what we're doing right now, right?
It takes putting people on blast for doing things that make no sense, that are counterproductive to our progression. But we don't do that enough. We hush. We speak out when other people do stuff to us. But the minute it's us doing something to us, be quiet. That's taboo for us to really talk about the things that we do that are counterproductive. And that
we talk about it.
The destruction of a black civilization. We
talk about it, Lady J.
Often.
See, what I'm saying is, we talk about it. We're doing the work. We're doing the propaganda. We're doing some of the discussions. Right? Now, I'm saying, is this the audience or the platform that you need to be doing that on?
Yes, it is.
Why?
Why not?
No, I'm asking you why. Because right now, we already know that the majority of the people.
So that's what I mean. So you're going to assume that everybody listening in and tuning in are in the same place as us, and that's not the truth. That's not the truth. The people who listen, that they might be in a position where they're wanting to grow, where they're wanting to learn. And so this is a place. And it might be that somebody might share this message with someone who needs to hear this message. So definitely this is the place. This is the platform.
I kind of see her position. I actually see what she's saying. I think that we have this in our culture where we don't think we should make people lose faith. Like Asians, they have this thing where you shouldn't make somebody lose faith. So you don't ask them a question that you know they may not know, and then they'll lose faith. We kind of have that too, and we don't always want to call each other out. And sometimes when we do call each other out, we call each other out when it's anger, and it can be really nasty as opposed to being productive. So I even within the so-called conscious community, even within the ADOS community, this is something that I think is pervasive and within our culture. And she does have a point. I don't know if I don't know how that can be handled. I know I'm not like that. I will challenge anybody in a respectful way, and I will ask questions in a respectful way. And I don't have a problem with someone disagreeing with me and even my own family. You know, my husband will tell me I'm wrong. My kids will tell me I'm wrong. So, yes, you know, I can be wrong. And I can do bad things. So I do understand what she's saying. I think she has a valid point.
Yes. Call her, please. Okay. I mean, like, hey, we disagree here. Because it's like, no, I'm just saying, because, like, we're talking about reparations. And we're talking about whole nother, because what starts to happen is, we'll get into the what about conversation, which becomes very detrimental to everything that we're doing. Why? Because it's like, okay, cool. We're talking about reparations, but what about this? Okay, cool. Then what about that? Then by the time we get done, we're no longer talking about reparations or we're anything else. We're talking about something three light years away from where we started. What about? Because there's so many problems. But hold on. We got a new caller. We got a new caller. Let the new caller go. New caller.
I don't want to say nothing. I already know who she is.
Oh, you know who she is? Welcome.
Yes, I do.
Okay. She brought backup. Uh-oh, it's about to go down. We're about to go to war. Let me call my backup in. Call my mama, please.
Hey, hi, Tim.
Go ahead.
Listen here, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I decided, you know, Pharaoh's locking his hair now.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided the other day, I said, you know what? You got to know Bob Marley like you know Michael Jackson, man. So I put on a Bob Marley concert from 50 years ago. Don't you know that this concert was hosted by Dick Gregory? And Dick Gregory used this concert, and it wasn't just Bob Marley. It was a whole list of people that was performing. I forget what the occasion was, but this is the conversation that he was having from the stage, like in between acts. This is the conversation that Dick Gregory was having 50 years ago at at concerts with Bob Marley and artists who had band together for some of the same commonality, if you will, you know. Mm-hmm. And so this is what I see is kind of my lane right now, where I really have to man up and make some of that performance art happen on a very exclusive level for this conversation. So, but once again, the fact that 50 years ago the same conversation is being had, it's resonating, and it's something that has legs, and it's something that I think that as pioneers we have to move in a way that makes it not palatable, but accessible for the people.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But all I can say is I think that we have to be able to communicate openly. This whole reparations conversation, the whole ADS movement or initiative is going to lend itself to people coming and saying all kinds of things. So we have to be ready for that.
Right.
And you can't be shutting everybody down. They have to be able to listen to each other and really talk to each other and understand, listen not with our ears, but listen with our heart, listen with our mind, so we can really hear where people are coming from and what they're trying to say. Because this is very emotional, and this hits hard with all of us.
Very hard. Especially when you look at the numbers. See, I'm very
Especially
emotional.
when you look at the numbers.
I'm very emotional because
And
I'm looking at the
we're all
numbers.
in the same situation.
And it's
We
all of us.
situation.
I gotta
All
go.
broke.
I gotta go to school and see 600 of my children, about 600 of them, and be like, damn, what am I really educating them for?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like I'm part. I'm in some cases. Sometimes I feel like I might be leading the lambs to slaughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do feel like that, especially nowadays in education with the push for college. That push for college is nothing but a push to get student loans. So it's well, you are doing that.
Damn, thank you, Q, for me. I'm about to kill myself. Thank you. God damn it.
Can I say something real quick regarding that?
Go ahead, Lady J. You already know. I'm already ready to disagree with you, girl. Go ahead. But happy birthday. You ain't say thank you. Happy belated birthday.
I did say thank you when I
I'm
first
sorry that I
called.
listen, because you're going to have an old for this. I came home and I laid down. You got any old joke for that? I was trying to make it. I came home and I laid down.
Well, when you've been celebrating birthdays since Moses parted the Red Sea, I could imagine.
I was there before Moses, baby.
Went home and laid down that it was over.
Yeah, I'm anxious.
It's okay.
Okay.
But this is, now you done made me forget this is my point. My point I was going to make, I agree with the caller with regards to college. I think that it is most critical for our advancement of our people that when we think about jobs that we're going into, that we think about where we are needed. Some of those jobs are going to require a college education. I'm going to give an example. Being a teacher, you need to go to college, but the good news is those loans are forgiven. You go teach, you never pay the loan back. So yes, you acquire some student debt, but the debt that I've incurred for being a teacher, I'm never going to pay back ever in life, because it's a civil service position, right? So when we think about when we're talking with our children, I think it's most important that we think about their gifts, but also we encourage them to go into professions where they are needed. I'm not going to give off a list of those professions because I don't want to start another debate, but I'm just going to plug my profession in there and say teaching. Teacher, we're hiring each and every day, and we're needing minorities in the classroom, especially when the gross majority of our children are African American, and a very small proportion of our teachers are of the minority group.
There we go with those words. That's part of that's.
Yeah, I mean, she's really hitting hard tonight.
There we go with those words. Sorry, I'm about to go the fuck off.
Right time for me. I don't subscribe to minority. I don't know if other people do. I don't subscribe to people of color. I don't subscribe to minority. No, I don't do that. So, yeah, those words.
Well, let me say this. Last year, we were going to, the teachers were thinking about striking, right? So they called us meeting. They had us come down to the fairgrounds, right? And so when I went into the meeting, there were probably 1,000 teachers in the room, right? Maybe even more. You know how many black people were there? 12.
What, was I right? I just said 12.
So, yeah. So that's why I'm saying the gross majority of the people, I mean, and then when you look at a district, when you look at the district where I work at, the gross majority of the students look like me. The teachers don't. So that's what I'm saying when I'm saying minority. I'm not saying.
I know exactly what you meant, and what you said was appropriate. I'm just saying I don't consider myself to be a minority, and I don't consider myself to be a person of color. And if you want to look on a global scale, people who are not of color are the minority. We have an apartheid world. We have the minority control the 90-something% of the resources in the world. That's what we have. So I'm not a minority. The people controlling the resources are a minority, and they control the population in the United States. Because when the United States population began, it was not majority Caucasian.
You know something you just said. I know you're gonna. I hate the way that this is about to come out, but you used the word people of color. And one thing that yes,
she says she don't subscribe to that one either.
I say is that one thing that I often point out is that if you look at the number of colored people on Earth versus the people not colored, technically the people of color are not the minority. I just want to point that out.
Now, but
everyone's colored. On only one corner of Earth.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Has a people that are not colored. Throughout the world, everyone has pigment. Everyone.
But
you're right.
One corner.
Pigment. I mean, we can just say white people or Europeans.
West Asians on my show. West Asians
control. They are a minority on this planet, and they control this planet. We live in an apartheid.
I just want to point this out. How Tim gets mad at me when I say this, because he says I'm going to give them too much credit. But I want to say this: if I'm standing somewhere and I'm standing somewhere with my little group, my little say me and my girls go out and we outnumbered, right? I'm going to have to come up with a new strategy. If we're about to go to war or if there's about to be a fight, I might have to come up with a new strategy to win if I know I'm outnumbered, right?
Right.
And so I often say one thing that the Europeans did that secured them their ability to colonize, to wreak havoc, to control, was that these people they mastered the art, I'm sorry to say this, of propaganda and psychological warfare. That is the only way I feel that they were able to do what they have done throughout history, is through propaganda and psychological warfare. So again, when I think about the fact that that we are at war, I think about we can't go into this battle using weapons that are not fighting off that are not combating the weapons that they're using. You see what I'm saying? So we don't, and that's why I like Dr. Umar Johnson, because he talks a lot about the power of propaganda, and we are not well versed in that. We're not well versed in that. We are, in fact, I feel like we are ignorant people when it comes to propaganda and the power.
All right, let me get my people I'm about to share some propaganda. I'm about to share some propaganda real quick. You ready? I'm going to ADOS 101. I'm going to the Black Agenda. Now, this is one of the reasons that it was stated that I don't subscribe to minority or people of color, because those are washout terms. Well, we as black people have been able to be washed out. So we want people to start stating our name. Just like I say West Asian, that's part of the program. And listen, Europe don't exist. It's a mental construct that has been inflicted on us, and by us recognizing that, we substantiate their power mentally. That whole West Asian piece kind of helps you see through some of the illusions. Because when I challenge some of my kids, I said, look up Europe. Show me. I give anybody $100 to show me where Europe is separated from Asia.
It's not.
So then it's West Asia.
It's not.
It's West Asia. So now, but what they
No,
got...
you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
That's part of the mind games that Lady J is stressing on, and in small ways, that's how...
You're right. You're right. Especially Chinese. Chinese people understand that very well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the piece is, we have to, like I said, part of this show's propaganda is calling the days by our principles so that we can start looking for our stuff. So, Lady J, I mean, I hope you've been noticing some of the propaganda that I've been putting out on a daily basis. Getting up, pouring for your ancestors. Propaganda. Is propaganda being used? You understand what I'm saying? This whole movement that what I'm talking about with Gye-Nyame is based on getting people to become simple literate.
Okay, I'm gonna need some memes about. I'm gonna need to see some memes.
Well, no, baby, if you need, hold on. If you need
reparations,
if you need memes, what's stopping you from creating them? How do you know they're not out there? Look up, go to a meme generator. See, no, it's not. See, Lady J, I have no problem with staying in my lane. My lane is getting up in the morning and toasting our ancestors. Now, here's the propaganda to that. Who is owed reparations? Why are we owed reparations? Because of what our ancestors went through. Propaganda, baby. Symbolic speak. Those that are able to get it can get it. I'm saying remember your great grandparents and what they went through so that you don't have to ask the question, are we old? Because a lot of us believe that everybody started off in the same boat, but our experience is totally different. But hold on, let me read this because I know you ain't go to the site. As a specific group with specific justice claims, the ADOS movement demands a specific agenda with policies, prescriptions that address the losses stemming from the institution of slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, convict leasing, mass incarceration, and immigration. Now, each one of those are a different claim that's going to be launched against the United States of America. A lot of people don't understand that. So slavery is the first one. Jim Crow is next. I just want to get y'all ready because understand this is a long-term battle. Now here we go. Let me get back to it. We demand a new deal for Black America, which includes but is not limited to. We need set-asides for American descendants of slavery, not minorities. A throwaway category which includes all groups except white men. That categorization has allowed Democrats to use programs like affirmative actions as giveaways to all groups in exchange for votes. The bribery must end. That begins with a new designation on the census with the ADOS and another for black immigrants. Black immigrants should be barred from accessing affirmative action and other set-asides intended for ADOS, as should Asians, Latinos, white women, and other minority groups. In addition, in addition, ADOS hiring and employment data must be demanded for all businesses receiving tax credits, incentives, and governmental support, as well as the government agencies, national, state, and local. It is our belief that this will show that there's a minimal, if any, ADOS professionals in fields including but not limited to engineering, medical, legal, and tech. That's one. Two, once affirmative action is streamlined as a government program only and specifically for ADOS, the program should be fully reinstituted. 3, the Supreme Court decided wrongly when it gutted the Voters' Rights Act. As Atlanta Journal-Constitution article, "It's time to solve the mystery of the 100,000 mystery votes" indicates. The protection outlined in the voting rights are essential to protecting the rights of ADOS in America. Reinstituting the protections of the Voting Rights Act is a key part of our agenda. Next, black businesses only receive 1.7% of the $23.9 billion in total SBA loans under President Obama's SBA, Small Business Administration, after having previously received 8.2% under the President George Bush. And by the way, both of those are low. If we are 13% of the population, we should be getting 13% of the loan. But I digress. Succeeding as an entrepreneur requires capital. So our agenda demands that 15% of the SBA loans be distributed to ADOS businesses. Next, we seek a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure plan targeted to ADOS communities, including but not limited to the Black Belt, Flint, Michigan's. A Reuters examination published in 2016 found 3,000 cities with poisoning rates higher than Flint. Let me say that again, because maybe some of y'all ain't hear this. 3,000 cities where we live, they found poisoning rates higher than that of Flint. I wonder if I'm living in one of those cities. I wonder if any of my listeners are living in any of those cities. And if you go to it, they will link you. Somebody call my mama. I don't care. Keep calling. Real talk here, Gye-Nyame Joint. Real life. Next. We seek a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure plan targeted to ADOS communities, including but not limited to the Black Belt. Oh, I already did that one. Residents of majority ADOS areas that have been poisoned under federal, local, and state government watch, such as not only Flint, Michigan, but Denmark, South Carolina, and others, must be financially compensated for the benign neglect of the Environmental Protection Agency and the government in general. The Justice Department must also institute protections which exact heavy fines and federal criminal prosecution for future offenders. Mass incarceration has wreaked havoc on Black American families. By some account, there are literally more black males in prison than all women are incarcerated on the planet. To give context, there are 20 million black males, and they largely descended from slavery, while there are 4 billion women globally, both groups producing the same number of incarcerated. The reinvention of slavery through the use of the 13th Amendment is chronicled by Douglas Blackman in his PBS documentary Slave by Another Name. It is our position this must be corrected. We demand a immediate assessment of the numbers of the ADOS prison population at the state and federal level. We also demand that there be a review if punishment, bail amounts, sentence lengths, amounts of time served before parole is being levied at an unfairly high level on ADOS based on gender and race for similar crimes to other groups. We demand that there be real prison reform in the form of investment into counseling, job training, and rehabilitation for our incarcerated. Former President Ronald Reagan committed to strengthen the capacity. Former President Ronald Reagan committed to strengthen the capacity of historically black colleges and universities to provide quality education. In Executive Order 12320, President Obama undermined that commitment with changes to the PLUS loan requirements. We call for legislation to triple the current federal allotment to HBCUs. Schools like Georgetown, built by slaves, have an endowment of over $1 billion. This is a transfer of wealth from ADOS to whites. Our agenda demands that the federal government fully endow our remaining HBCUs in a dollar amount that meets the budgetary needs. Hold on. Thanks for the share, Brother Quasi. The budgetary needs of each institution. In addition, ADOS students who attend HBCU should receive a discount in the form of a 75% tax credit. And I don't know what that means. Somebody needs to explain that to me. Given that our inability to pay the rising cost of education is directly tied to the racial wealth gap coming from slavery, ADOS who choose schools outside of HBCU network should receive a 50% government-funded credit. I'm almost done. Bear with me. Findings published in the USA Today concluded that the top universities graduate ADOS in tech, but those graduates can't find jobs in Silicon Valley. Only 2% of technology workers at 7 Silicon Valley companies are black, according to the report, and many of those are black immigrants, not ADOS. And according to a study by Rutgers professor Hal Zalman, American college graduates graduate more tech workers than tech companies need. Hence, the H-1B program reduces opportunities for ADOS searching for careers in technology. The government must strictly limit the number of H-1B visa workers tech companies that flow in each year. Here we go. Audit the banks to see if there are patterns of racial discrimination in lending and require these banks to extend loans to ADOS businesses and home loans. How about that too? These banks, but I added that. These banks receive bailout from taxpayers and owe a debt to all taxpayers regardless of race. In addition, banks such as Wells Fargo use predatory schemes historically, not just during the Great Recessions, to eviscerate black wealth. Lending to black businesses and institutions will be a beginning for banks to redress the harm they caused the ADOS community. Another one. Mandate that the government advertising budget includes black media. There is no ADOS community without our own media. Incentives through legislative action that all major companies spend 10% of their advertising budget with ADOS media in exchange for tax credits. In addition, mandate that 10% of the government advertising for governmental agencies, armed forces, and other ancillary programs go to the majority ADOS-owned media companies. ADOS college debt should be forgiven in the same way losses were forgiven for the banks on Wall Street. Those executives oversaw the evaporation of billions in global wealth. ADOS graduates bought into the idea that the key to success in life was an education and there was a place for us in America, only to find after graduation that we were locked out. We can't afford to bear the burden of a lie. A health care credit to pay for medical coverage for all ADOS. This will cover surgery, pharmaceuticals, and counseling needs. As an example, we would like to see a lineage therapy. That's going to be a growing field, family. Whereby ADOS leadership is in cooperation with licensed therapists and psychiatrists develop a therapy curriculum to help members of the ADOS understand and manage their ancestral traumas. This therapy should come at no cost to the ADOS community. And finally, America has never atoned for its original sin of slavery in the form of reparations. It is our position that H.R. 40 be passed and additional supportive measures implemented. We need to gather the data on the level of wealth that was lost as a direct result of slavery and the era of Jim Crow that followed. In the paper, 40 Acres and a Mule in the 21st Century, economist Sandy Darity of Duke University assessed the value today as, if we also take as a conservative estimate the total number of ex-slaves who had attained emancipation on the close of the Civil War as 4 million persons, 40 million acres of land valued at $400 million should have been distributed to the ex-slaves in 1865. The present value of that sum of money compounded from 1865 at 6%, 5% for interest earned, and 1% as inflation adjustment would amount to more than $1.3 trillion. If there are appropriately 30 million descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States today, the estimate based on 40 acres yield an allocation of slightly more than $400,000 per recipient. ADOS demand that there be a real review of direct payouts needed to be made to be eligible recipients from gathered data and progress be made toward making ADOS family whole. Finally, oh, that's not a dot. Okay, cool. Without these measures being instituted, ADOS are locked out of the country our ancestors built during chattel slavery. Without reforms through transformative government, we will be left to continue living a third world life in a first world country. Goddamn.
They know it. That's exactly what's going to happen. And we have to do this now. We have to.
Simple agenda. I'm simple, straightforward. And of course,
yes,
people, you know what I'm saying, as we start coming together and we start meeting on it, we can make suggestions to add, or we can start You know, we can start promoting issues that we feel that need to be out there. But the point is, there is something there, and this is why I keep telling people, and I keep pushing people to that, because we don't have to recreate the wheel if there's a will there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I mean, and so family, it's right there. All you gotta do is look at it. You don't have to. I mean, like I said, look at it and see what you feel might need to be added, so that you can start chiming in a discussion, and not just your feelings, but being able to come with the data to show that what you're saying is a true need. Not that I feel, not just from my personal experience, because that's how I'm gonna come. So I just keep my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put a gender on everything. I'd be like, it's one particular family that needs $400 million because we was unjustly done, and I believe that my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather could have been in on that oil hustle and the train hustle. And the steel hustle. We missed all that shit. They still living off that money.
And we missing out on whatever's going on now.
Right now, because we ain't got no goddamn money. We always get in on the end.
We missed out on the dot-com era in the 90s. We missed out on that.
Because we ain't got no money. Not because we didn't. And in order to really study the Wall Street and really get involved, you got to have money to stay there, because they have internships where individuals have to basically live for no pay in some of the richest, in one of the most expensive cities in the country.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't see how any person, any African American descendant of slaves, I have to train myself to stop saying African American. Any American descendant of slaves cannot agree with that. I just don't see how you cannot agree with that. I mean,
about high 40s don't agree with reparations. See,
I know. I mean,
right. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? You know what?
Is. I mean, if you don't think it can happen, that's one thing to disagree with it. You say, I just don't believe it's possible. Okay, then you don't believe it's possible, but you don't have a problem with it. You just don't have faith. Right. That's all it is, too. And that's fine.
Or not willing to do the work. See, because faith without works is, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I'm willing to put in the work because I see what's coming. I see what's coming. Right?
So you going to the conference?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm working on getting my tickets now. Only $15. The
How much are the tickets?
$15.
Okay, well, I can't go because I probably won't be in the States. But if you know somebody who wants to go, I'll buy their ticket.
Oh, well, we gonna. I mean, for $15, I'm trying to get about 10 people, and I want to take some young people so that they can listen to the conversation and maybe even get involved in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because like
so I put $50 in there.
All right. You know, so this is conversation for the Asian family. You know what I'm saying? Because this is gonna be one of those things like, you know, this our civil rights marches and shit. Where were you? Where were you when they was fighting?
Yeah, I will be in Ouagadougou, but I will sponsor some people to go for me.
Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because family, it's like, yo, so I read the agenda. Anybody got beef with the agenda, call in. Anybody got questions about the agenda? I mean, you call in, I can answer to my best, but then, like I said, I would turn you to those stations, Tone Talks, Yvette Carnell, that I'm more versed in. And I give you how I feel. I give you what I know from my personal experience. But as far as the data piece, I am lacking. And I'm not ashamed of that. I stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? So, because like I said, a lot of my arguments come from the feeling and the thinking type thing of it. Because it's like, yo, this when you look at the numbers and you know that 2053 is the 0 day. That's the 0 year for us. And you know that it's going to be here sooner than 2053. You can look at where we are now, because right now, let's say 50% of our people have $1,700. below, $1,700 and below. Wealth. This is money after everything is paid. We're living off of salaries. And we have been doing that since the sharecropper farms.
And credit.
Come on, family. We got to do better. But yo, we're approaching slowly but surely the 2-hour mark. I'm about to get up because I gotta get this ambrosia bottled. I gotta fold these clothes. I gotta go buy an iron. I gotta go get my kids some lunch. I've been on here running my mouth. And I still have to finish the newsletter because I want to get that out as soon as I possibly can. So family, I want to thank each and every last one of you for taking the time to call in. Whether you agree or disagree, does not matter. You know what I'm saying? Whether we argue or we don't argue, it does not matter. You know what I'm saying? Long as the wheels of thought start to turn and the emotions start to well up and stuff like that, I don't care. Just move. If you disagree with me, work as diligently as I do for your point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to get on the show and just talk about it. It's another to be doing the research. It's another to be posting up the things and letting people know this is where your mind frame is. So if you ain't got, you know what I'm saying, you got to let people know this is what's up. Whether we're talking about reparations or we're talking about black empowerment, which goes hand in hand, or we're talking about black entrepreneurship, we're talking about doing the mall, we're talking about doing the paper, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're not willing to get up and get busy, stop talking shit. Just be honest. I ain't doing shit. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna drink me some liquor, and I'm gonna go to the strip club, and I'm just sit around and not do shit. Just be honest, so we know where you are, we know who you are, so I ain't got to depend on you coming out. You know what I'm saying? And this is, like I said, I'm not reaching out because I'm not reaching out to people that's not going to participate. Don't make no sense. Make no sense. That make no sense. When I got a whole community of people that have already, in a sense, made pledges and ain't keeping their pledges, and I have to go around and I have to shake them up. I'm working on that. Let the young people do the outreach. I'm trying to shake up those that's in our circle now. You know what I'm saying? Pay, work, or get the fuck out. That's where I'm at, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I know I shouldn't necessarily be like that because we supposed to be loving and altruistic and shit, but it's to a point now where when I look at what's coming for our children, if we are not serious, and I had a dream last night that I lost my youngest daughter on some simple shit. You understand what I'm saying? And I could be losing a whole generation. I'm leading them into the mouth and jaws of the beast so that they could be consumed. I'm going to leave them at $1,700 worth of wealth without a fight. When I know that they owe. I'm not trying to be nice to motherfuckers. I'm not trying to team up with motherfuckers. I'm speaking specifically for my group and those that can't understand the grievance that I have and cannot understand the righteous indignation and righteous anger that I have. I don't need you. You don't have to agree. Right? But, it's kind of messed up that your children may benefit in the same way that mine do, but that's the way it is. Because we got to understand, family, and I'm done. Everybody that claimed that they marched with Martin Luther King didn't march with Martin Luther King. Everybody that said they was down with the civil rights movement wasn't down with the civil rights movement. As a matter of fact, they saying some of the same shit to those individuals that was involved with the civil rights movement that they are saying to those of us that saying ADY. Y'all shaking the boat. Y'all making too much noise. That's foolish. Hey, that ain't gonna never happen. That's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. And look at where we are now. Same thing happened with the Black Power movement. Y'all shaking the boat. Y'all doing it wrong. Let's look at some of the progress. And some of y'all like, what progress came from the Black Power movement? First off, if your child is eating breakfast at lunch, say thank you to the Black Power movement. Right? If you ever been to a free medical clinic, say thank you to the Black Power movement. God damn it. You understand? And that's probably most of the black folks that I'm talking to. Or if your grandchildren or your children are eating breakfast at school, it's because of the Black Power movement. You've been to a free clinic. Thank you, Black Power. Thank you, Black Panthers. Thank you for being willing to do what y'all did. And they was talking about them as well. I want y'all to think about the Marcus Garvey movement. Do you think that everybody agree with Marcus Garvey? Matter of fact, we got notes and newspaper clippings that a lot of us wasn't with Marcus Garvey, and he was a troublemaker. He was starting shit that didn't need to be, and he was doing it totally wrong. So now, family, I'm telling you right now, you need to get your ass on the right side of history, and at least get versed with the facts before you come trying to attack people. Understand the benefits that will happen for black people globally if we are able to do this. We are trendsetters. Once we start doing shit, guess what happens all over the world? I heard somebody call African Americans selfish. If it is, that's a very recent phenomenon, because we have been willing to sacrifice and fight for everybody to be treated fairly. I'm just saying now it's time for us to direct that energy towards us. My babies are calling me. Family, I love y'all. Y'all take it easy. Peace.